Some people masterfully hide their dark secrets, but eventually those secrets come to light, leaving behind nothing but fear and horror. Today, we will delve deep into the life and horrifying crimes of one of America's most chilling serial killers, Tommy Lynn Sells. From a childhood marred by abuse to an adulthood filled with crime, Sells left a trail of darkness at every stage of his life. What set him apart from other serial killers was his random choice of victims and the varied methods he used to commit his crimes. This story will anger you at times and horrify you at others, but how does someone become so dark? As we seek the answer to this question, we'll take a closer look at his psychology and the details behind his crimes. If you're ready, let's embark on this terrifying journey together. Tommy Lynn Sells was born on June 28, 1964, in Texas, but this was no ordinary birth story. Even as an infant, he grew up amidst chaos within his family. His mother, Nina Sells, was a young single parent trying to raise her children, but her efforts didn't create an environment of love or security. Deprived of affection and attention from a young age, Tommy's life took a tragic turn at just 7 years old when he was sexually abused by a family friend. This horrific event created a fracture in his psyche that he could never recover from. He never told anyone about this abuse, letting the trauma grow into a deep-seated anger. Poverty, emotional neglect, and violence defined his early years and shaped the person he would become. Eventually, Tommy dropped out of school and began living on the streets. These dark experiences of his childhood planted the seeds for the horrifying crimes he would commit later in life. As a young adult, Tommy's life spiraled completely out of control. During this period, he drifted from state to state, committing petty crimes such as theft, arson, and drug trafficking. These acts became his new way of life, but his true dark side had yet to emerge. During this time, he often felt an uncontrollable anger and openly defied societal rules and norms. Above all, he harbored a profound sense of dissatisfaction. By the late 1980s, Tommy escalated his criminal career. He was no longer harming others for material gain, but to fulfill a twisted sense of power and satisfaction. This marked the beginning of his path toward his first murders. Sells' first known murder occurred in 1985. That year, in Missouri, he brutally killed a woman and her daughter. The crime scene was horrifying. The woman was found with her throat slashed, and her daughter had been savagely stabbed. After these murders, Sells' crimes became increasingly random and uncontrolled. He didn't discriminate by age or gender when selecting his victims. Throughout the 1990s, he preyed on victims across many states, from Texas to Illinois. Each murder revealed more about his twisted psyche. One of his most infamous crimes occurred in 1999 in Texas. Sells viciously killed 13-year-old Kayleen Harris in her own home. During the same attack, he bravely injured 10-year-old Crystal Soares, who miraculously survived. Thanks to Crystal's detailed testimony, authorities were able to identify Tommy. In Sells' own words, killing had become a necessity for him. He used different methods for each murder, intending to leave his victims in a state of terror. For him, it was a process of hunting, and every hunt provided him with a sense of control and power. Crystal Sorrell's survival and detailed statements played a crucial role in Tommy Lynn Sells' capture. In 1999, Sells was arrested in Texas and, during interrogations, he confessed to numerous murders. However, not all his confessions could be verified. Some experts believe he exaggerated the number of his killings. During the trial, Sells' cold demeanor and lack of remorse shocked everyone. For the victims' families, the trial was both painful and a quest for justice. Ultimately, Sells was sentenced to death for his numerous crimes. Tommy Lynn Sells was executed by lethal injection on April 3, 2014. However, his crimes left behind an indelible trauma. For the families of his victims, his execution brought closure, but it could never fully heal their wounds. Sells' story forces us to question how someone could descend into such darkness. How did a monster like him go unnoticed for so long? It challenges society to reflect on its failures in preventing individuals like him from wreaking havoc. The life and crimes of Tommy Lynn Sells is a story that is both frightening and thought-provoking. It opens a window into the dark corners of the human soul and shows us how evil can hide behind an ordinary face. What are your thoughts about this story? See you in the next video. Remember, sometimes facts are scarier than fiction.